The Royal Collection is the art collection of the British royal family and the largest private art collection in the world, spread among 13 occupied and historic royal residences in the United Kingdom. The collection is owned by Queen Elizabeth II and overseen by the Royal Collection Trust, a branch of the Royal Household. The Queen owns some objects in the collection in right of the Crown and some as a private individual. It is made up of over 1 million objects, including 7,000 paintings, 30,000 watercolours and drawings, and about 500,000 prints, as well as photographs, tapestries, furniture, ceramics, books, sculptures, and the crown jewels. Some of the buildings which house the collection, like Hampton Court Palace, are open to the public and not lived in by the royal family, whilst others, like Windsor Castle, are both residences and open to the public. The Queen's Gallery at Buckingham Palace in London was built specially to exhibit pieces from the collection on a rotating basis. There is a similar art gallery next to the Palace of Holyrood House in Edinburgh, and a drawings gallery at Windsor Castle. The crown jewels are on public display in the Jewel House at the Tower of London. About 3,000 objects are on loan to museums throughout the world, and many others are loaned on a temporary basis to exhibitions. History. Few items from before King Henry VIII survive. The most important additions to the collection were made by Charles I, a passionate collector of Italian paintings, and a major patron of Van Dyck and other artists. His collection was sold after his execution in 1649, but large numbers of works were recovered for the collection after the Restoration of 1660, when the Dutch Republic also presented Charles II with the Dutch gift, and Charles later bought many paintings and other works. George III, with the assistance of Frederick Augusta Barnard, added very large numbers, including tens of thousands of books and manuscripts, and Queen Victoria and her husband Albert working collectors of contemporary and old master paintings. Many works have been given from the collection to museums, especially by George III and Victoria and Albert. In particular, most of the then Royal Library was given by George III to the British Museum, now the British Library, where many books are still catalogued as royal. The core of this collection was the purchase by James I of the related collections of Humphrey Clwyd, Lord Lumley, and the Earl of Arundel. Throughout the reign of Elizabeth II, there have been significant additions to the collection through judicious purchases, bequests, and through gifts from nation-states and other official bodies. The Commonwealth is strongly represented in this manner. An example is the 75 contemporary Canadian watercolours that entered the collection between 1985 and 2001, a gift from the Canadian Society of Painters in Watercolour collection. A full inventory of the Royal Collection has never been made available to the public, though there are published catalogues of parts of the collection, especially paintings, and a database on the Royal Collection website is increasingly comprehensive. Paintings, prints and drawings. The collection's holdings of Western fine art are amongst the largest and most important assemblages in existence, with works of the highest quality, and in many cases artists whose works cannot be fully understood without a study of the holdings contained within the Royal Collection, numbering over 7,000 works spread across the royal residences. The collection is also arguably amongst the world's oldest in terms of provenance. The collection does not claim to provide a comprehensive, chronological survey of Western fine art, but it has been shaped by the individual tastes of kings, queens and their families over the last 500 years. Furniture. Numbering over 300 items, the Royal Royal Collection holds one of the greatest and most important collections of French furniture ever assembled. The collection is noted for its encyclopedic range as well as counting the greatest cabinet makers of the ancient regime, ornaments and acute COR management. The Royal Collection Trust, employing around 500 staff, is one of the 5 departments of the royal household, and is responsible for the cataloguing, conservation, cleaning, restoration and display of the collection. Buildings do not come under its remit. The team of curatorial staff numbers chapter 29, and there are 32 conservationists. Royal Collection Enterprises, set up in 1993 after the Windsor Castle fire, had a turnover of £40.7 million and profit of £7 million for the year to the 31st of March 2015. Income is raised by charging entrance fees to see the collection and selling books and merchandise to the public. Retail sales were down by 19% compared with the previous year, and visitor numbers to the official residences in which items from the collection are displayed fell by 3.2% to 2.47 million. The Conservation Studio at Marlborough House is responsible for the in-house conservation of furniture and decorative objects located at Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, Frogmore House, Palace of Holyrood House, St James's Palace, Sandringham House, Hampton Court Palace, Kensington Palace, Kew Palace and Osborne House. Gallery.